Hello and welcome to this episode. We looked at some dodgy Chinese Beta 58s a few weeks back, and I've just noticed on eBay all of a sudden there are loads of Shures Beta 87As, condenser supercardioid mics, and they're being sold at between £70 and £80 on eBay, and they're also on Amazon as well in the UK. So I thought something funny is going on here. So I looked at my collection, and I rather like the SM86, the condenser that's an ordinary cardioid. The 87A, of course, is a condenser that's a supercardioid. And I've never really found a huge amount of use for supercardioids, but ordinary cardioids, yeah, they come in pretty handy. We've done a video on the 86s, I think, when we were comparing them to other mics. But the 86 and the 87, sort of these two, really nice microphones. They're quite different inside. The SM87 was discontinued a while back. They've kept the SM86 going, but the 87 went. And now we've got the Beta 87A, which is the supercardioid, and the Beta 87C, which is the replacement for the old 87. So the 87C is an ordinary cardioid. But quite nice microphones. I mean, when you put them in your hand, the 86 is a little bit more weighty than the other one. I stuck this on the scales just to see what it was. And an 87A, when I put this on my scales, came in at 207 grams. So that's quite a lightweight microphone by all, by comparing it to other ones. But 207 grams is not bad. So what I did, of course, is I've ordered one of these microphones that's now being sold on eBay. I didn't buy it from eBay, of course, because I'm not going to give someone who's selling counterfeit microphones my money. So I went direct to China and managed to get one for about £35. And here it is. And the minute I took it out of the box, I stuck on the bit of yellow tape. And the reason is, it's pretty good. It actually is a little bit lighter. It comes in 199 grams. So what we're looking, 8 grams difference. That's not a lot. So I don't think it'd be easy to actually sort of tell them apart. Certainly if I do that with the genuine one and the fake one, I have no idea which is which. And even worse, when you undo them, they look the same inside. The only visual clue that I've managed to find is inside here. And the difference is the colour of the wires. The one that I've had, and I'm guessing I've had it at least 5 or 6 years. It's got to be that sort of time. The wires in mine are blue and green. The wires in here are red and black. Now, that's the only difference. I mean, the actual mechanism, these little 3 spikes on here, that have the microphone suspended from the top on like a rubber mount with another piece of sort of rubbery material around it at the bottom. That's exactly the same. I just can't see the difference. So we got a few grams in weight, and we've got the colour of the cables. That's the only clue. Now, of course, what you're all going to say is, what does it sound like? So let's sort that one out. What I thought we'd do is start with switching from my SM7B that we used as the reference mic to the SM86. So we're on the SM86 at the moment. So that's the cardioid version. And the first test we'll do is with the 86 versus the 87A. That's the Beta 87A. Now we're on the Beta 87A. If it's any help, the gain I've had to set on this recorder is exactly the same for both of these microphones. And we'll flip between the two so you can have a go. and then I'll give you a bit of off-axis stuff too. Now, remember that the Beta 87A is a supercardioid, as opposed to the ordinary cardioid that's on the 86. Oddly, these are not really much copped for using as instrument mics, because they're no more sensitive than a typical dynamic microphone. So in actual fact, both of these, if you needed to use them on quiet or delicate sources, you'd have to turn the gain up a fair way, and that's never good for the noise figures. So at least that's how it seems to work at the moment. So all right, let's try me going round the mic a little bit, because the one thing that the Fake came with, and I'd forgotten about this, is this thing. It's a clever little indicator of where the least pickup is in the lobes, because typically with a cardioid you might stick a wedge monitor down there straight in front of you. That doesn't work too well with a supercardioid, because supers and hypers have got these lobes at the side. So the best place for monitors, if you have to use wedges on the floor with Beta 87s, is in that direction. So it actually gives you like a little arrow. Stick your monitors where the little arrow is and all will be good. That was in the box of the Fake when it came today. I'm assuming they still give you that when you buy an 87. I don't know. I don't remember, to be honest, ever having seen it. So if I did have one, I must have lost it years ago. But it's a neat little idea, just reminding people where you put the monitors, because it's different from a cardioid. Right, okay. So that's enough of the 86 versus the 87. Let's do the test now with the Fake 87. We're in now. This one is the real 87A, and this one is the Fake Beta 87A. So we're on the genuine one at the moment. So let's switch from the genuine to the Fake. Here we go. So now you're listening to me on the Fake. Now on that distance, hand span away from these mics, the gain appears to be exactly the same. I mean, after swapping it from the 86, it doesn't seem to have changed. Both are sort of tracking together very nicely. I don't really know what's going on, to be honest, because this appears to be so similar. Okay, let's just try it a little bit. Let me move off axis. So we're on the Fake at the moment. If I go across to this side here, I'm now at quite an angle away from the axis of the microphone. So if I come round again, so we're on the Fake at the moment, we're coming round here, and that's me on this side. Let's go back, and now we're back to the centre. Switch to the real one. Same again, we'll go across here, same place, same distance, so I'm off axis on the real one. Can you detect a difference if I come across to there? All right. I really don't quite know what to say, because I'm definitely getting the impression that I think there is a tiny tonal difference, but we're talking really, really small. I think that the 87A Fake is slightly brighter. It's not much though, and I had to re-record this one because I wasn't certain, so I had to actually do it again and then go and listen back in the studio and see what I thought. But it's a really small one. Now, the bad thing, of course, with this, it means that it's another model like the Beta 58s that really you don't buy from eBay. If you see one of these advertised on eBay for less than £100, it is bound to be a fake. Now, there are going to be some sellers who are also smart enough to actually put them perhaps up at the sort of £200 mark. So they are a little bit cheaper than buying it from a proper dealer, but you're still buying a fake. Now, it's so close that I don't think many people who buy them are going to find out the difference. And even if you've already got a genuine one, like I have, fair enough, it's a little bit older, but the thing is so similar. and I've had to put a bit of tape on it to mark it, because I know, like, you remember when we did the SM7Bs, some of those fake SM7Bs were, you know, a gnat's whisker away from a real one. Some were awful, of course. I've actually had a fake Beta 58 before that interestingly worked without phantom power, and when I undid it, it actually had a dynamic capsule inside. But that was about 5 years ago, and things seem to have moved on. This latest version is very, very close. If it matters, the box is actually labelled Made in Mexico. I don't have my original box for mine, but I don't remember my original one being made in Mexico. I thought it was made in America, but I might be wrong on that. I can't really tell now. And as I said, it's not a microphone that I've particularly used that often. But as far as I can see, looking inside, the two things are so close you can't call it. Anyway, with that, let's leave it here, and I'll see you on the next video. But one to really cross off the list, I think, if you're looking at trying to find a cheap Shure microphone. It's another one that almost certainly eBay and Amazon are going to be full of the fakes. So buy it from a proper dealer. See you on the next video. Take care. Look after yourselves.